Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm start explaining about the mindfulness of Dhammas for this week, and also I will try to recap all the 4 Satipatthanas in this week, because this is the end of our program. So I will try to recap all the 4 Satipatthanas. And then I will also talk about how you should go on your daily life practice, mindfulness in daily life. Okay, so first of all, let me share the slides. Okay, this is our lecture for today. Okay, so mindfulness of Dhamma. Okay, are we doing the recording?
Yes, Ayya, we are going on to the YouTube live right now, but I have also recorded the session.
Okay. Okay. So, so mindfulness of Dhamma, so it is called Dhammanupassana. Okay. Dhammanupassana includes 5 sessions. Okay, first is hindrances. Second is thinking and the factors, and the third is factors of enlightenment. The fourth is 4 truths. Okay, Dhamma. Dhamma is, we have many definitions. Dhamma, sometimes we have Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. So is Dhamma is, in this sense, is the teachings of the Buddha. Okay, but in here, the Dhamma doesn't mean in that way. Dhamma mean here is the Nisatta, Nijiva. Is a Nisatta is non-identity, Nijiva is soullessness. So it means that there is no being, no soul, nothing is permanent, and no self-existing. All are the phenomena, natural phenomena. There's no I, no you, no human being, no female, no male. We all are the same. So this is called Dhamma. So for example, I have lobha, I am a human being, I am a nun, I have lobha, I have greed, hatred, delusion, and a dog. How about the dog? A dog has also greed. It's hunt for the food. And then a lot dosa, angry. He is angry when he sees some strangers. That's it. And also he has also the moha, delusion, something like that. So we have the very similar nature, the nature and also the defilements. That's why when we practice the mindfulness of Dhamma, what we have to understand in the beginning is there is no being, there is no soul. All are Dhamma, all are the natural phenomena, something like that. So Mahasi Sayadaw he is very famous in Myanmar. So what he translates is Dhammesu. Dhammesu is at no being, no soul, or at mind and matter. So we have all the same. We have all everybody has mind and matter. A dog or a cow, mind and matter. And human being, male or female, mind and matter. That's why we call it Dhammesu. That's why we have to contemplate Dhamma as Dhamma. And we have to contemplate mind and matter, nama and rupa, as nama and rupa. So this is the concept of the mindfulness of the Dhamma. So in 5 hindrances, we call it Nivarana Pabba, right? Nivarana Pabba, there is the sensuous desire or sensual desire. That is also lobha, okay, greed. And ill will is dosa. And sloth and torpor is arati, and restlessness and worry and doubt. So today in my lecture, I will focus on 5 hindrances, because these are the hindrances when we do the meditation, vipassana meditation or samatha meditation or mindfulness in daily life. These all 5 factors are hindering our mind. Hindering means that they are hindering us from the kusala, from wholesome deeds. For example, we are lazy, we have sloth and torpor, sometimes we have laziness in mind to do meditation, or to practice mindfulness, or to pay homage to the Buddha, something like that. Sometimes we have doubt as well. Okay, is that good or bad? Because I am keep on practicing. Why it is not, progressing? Something like that. So we have doubt things. So it means that these are hindering us. For example, we have sensual pleasure. Sometimes we are doing meditation and then we feel like, I want to eat this, I want to eat that, and I want to listen this, I want to listen that. So these are the sensual pleasure coming up during our meditation. So our mind is struggling, keep on struggling with these 5 hindrances. So I focus on these 5 hindrances today. And the second session is 5 aggregate session, Kanda Baba. So Kanda Baba, as we all know, we have 5 aggregates, Rupa Kanda, Vedana Kanda, Sanya Kanda, Sankara Kanda, and Vijnana Kanda. So we have five aggregates: form, feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. And the third session is 6 sense based, called Ayatana Baba. So we have 6 sense all the time, so that we have to be aware of our all 6 sense bases. For example, the organ of sight is eye, organ of hearing, ear, organ of smell, nose, organ of taste, tongue, and organ of touch, all the skin, the outer skin. And then we have the mind base, like that. So this is the third session. And then the fourth session is 7 enlightenment factor, Bojjhanga Baba, 7 Bojjhanga. So 7 Bojjhanga also, when we practice 7 Bojjhanga, so we have to practice whether these 5 enlightenment factors are present or absent. So for example, we search for the truth, energy, such the truth, energy, joy, serenity, rapture, and equanimity. These are the very important factors when we practice Vipassana meditation. So when we do the Vipassana meditation, we need to fulfill these 7 enlightenment factors. Okay, and the last session of the Dhammanupassana is the 4 noble truths. So you may notice here, the Dhammanupassana includes very profound practice, very important practices. Okay, so these are the 5 hindrances. So you can see, like, we have the kind of the sensory desire. Oh, we want to eat something, we don't want to eat something. So that's the things. And also ill will. While we are doing meditation, so we have kind of the anxiety comes up, or the stress comes up, like that. So, and also we have the sloth and torpor, and also restlessness and worry. Oh, we have restlessness. We have kind of we should practice like this, or we should practice in that way, or we should listen to this teacher, or we should listen to another teacher, something like that. And then we are thinking back of our bad actions, wrong actions. Oh, I have done this wrong, so how should I do, like that? For me, when I practiced meditation in Mahasi, I was only 15 years old. So it's about over 35 years ago. So by that time, while I was doing meditation, sitting meditation, one thought came up. I killed the rat, at my house. Then that scene came up to my mind, and then I couldn't continue my meditation like that. And then another thing is, another time when I did meditation, I think it's about 25 years ago, or yeah, 20 years ago. So when I did practice, I have already experiences with meditation by the time, but still, and my trauma in my life came up suddenly while I am in a very good concentration. Then I cried and cried. I was meditating, and then my eardrops came out, and then I think of it. So these are the kind of the bad memories coming up. So it is called, we call is the sometimes we have worries, sometimes we have grief, sometimes we have guilt. So these are the negative emotions coming up. So these are all hindrances while we are practicing meditation. Okay. So you can see this, the right side one has clear. There's no blockage. But in the left side pipe, we have many muds inside, muddy inside. So that in our mind also the same. We have hindrances. So those are the blockades for our mind. We actually, not the other people are putting them into our mind. We put ourselves into our mind. We put those worries, those restlessness, those grief, those lamentations, those anxieties, those stress, negative thoughts. We put ourselves. We are adding those things into our mind. So it means that the person who blocks our mind is ourselves. Okay, so this is like the those hindrances are like that. Because of hindrances, our mind cannot do the wholesome deeds smoothly, like clog drains. So the drains are clogged so that the water cannot flow easily. So these are the things. So we need to check our clogged mind. What are the things we are putting in? Yeah, like that. So sometimes you in your mind, you have mobiles, you have jewelries, you have cosmetics. So I think not only that, no, some of you may have kind of your grandchildren, granddaughter, grandson, and the jobs and so many things. You put things in your mind. So slowly, gradually, then your mind becomes many things inside like that. So those are the things hindering our mind, hindering us like that. Okay, so how we should practice? So first thing is, we have to know the presence of hindrances in mind. Oh, okay, I have ill will in my mind. I have sensual pleasures in my mind. First thing. Second thing is, okay, you have developed your mindfulness and concentration, sati, samadhi. Then those the sensual pleasures are gone. So you have to know again that the absence of hindrance in mind. And the third thing is, you know what the cause of that hindrances is, why it comes up. Because, okay, for example, you are upset with your wife, for example. Why? Maybe you have underlying yesterday, so that you are angry, you are upset with her today, something like that. You need to trace the cause of hindrances. And then the fourth is knowing how to remove it. As I told you, Vipassana is one of the tools, but sometimes we cannot depend on Vipassana all the time. We need to use other tools. For example, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekha, Marananosati, Buddhanosati, so many practices we have to depend. That's why you know what tool you have to you have to use at that moment. So you have to know how to remove it. And after removing, knowing how to completely eradicate it. So it means that this is the Ayya stage. So if you become an Ayya, so you can eradicate completely some defilements, level by level, some defilements. So these are the 5 steps that you have to practice when you do the when you practice the Dhammanupassana. I think last week some of the one participant asked how to practice the mental formation. So this is the practice, the way how to practice. So we have 5 steps here. So you can practice you can follow these 5 steps. Okay, by practicing mindfulness of Dhammanupassana, we can suppress some hindrances, for example, sensual pleasure, or the first jhana on the body foulness. So asubha. For example, when you have an attachment towards a girl or towards your partner, then you can practice. Her body is asubha. Is not a super, because if we don't have mindfulness, if we don't have enough practice, we think that permanent, beautiful, yeah, and also within control. So we can think in that way. But in fact, everything is impermanent. Everything is asubha, and everything is beyond control. So that's why when you practice the first jhana on the bodily foulness, you can suppress the sensual pleasure for a moment, for a certain moment. And the path of eradication is non-returning or arahantship. And ill will is first jhana based on metta. So if you have ill will, you should practice metta bhavana, loving kindness, meditation. And the highest one you can get is non-returning. If you become a non-returner or anagami, then your ill will be eradicated completely. And the restlessness and worry is serenity. So then when you become a restlessness, you can suppress with your serenity, and that is restlessness and worry can be eradicated completely at the arahantship and the non-returning. And the doubt, the last one is doubt. Doubt you have to can suppress with the defining the phenomenon. So the doubt is eradicated when you become a stream entry or sotapanna. Okay, these are the methods. Okay. So you may think that all the 5 hindrances are blocking us all the time. No, not in that way. Not in that way. In a day, we have light, we have darkness, we have lightness. Or sometimes in a year, we have rainy season, we have summer season, we have winter season, something like that. So that in the same way, our mind also have good and bad like that. So sometimes we have nivarana hindrances, sometimes we have no hindrances, sometimes our mind is peaceful, sometimes our mind is lustful, and our mind has sensual pleasures sometimes, something like that. So on and off. That's why we should not be demotivated. Okay, we should be mindful. We should put effort to remove all the blockages, all the hindrances. We should use our wisdom to practice. Okay, like that. Okay, and the second one is the second session is about the 5 hindrances. Okay, 5 hindrances is khandha pabba. As we all know, we have forms, feeling, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness, like that. Okay, so I will not explain very detailed. because some of you have already studied Abhidhamma, so some of you may know already. Okay, this is the how is the relation, what is the relationship between 4 Satipatthana and 5 aggregates? So 4 Satipatthana, mindfulness of body, Dhammanupassana, so it is related with the form aggregate, Upakanda. And then the mindfulness of feeling, Vedananupassana, it is related with the feeling aggregate, is the Vedana Kanda. And mindfulness of mind is related with consciousness, Vijnana Kanda. And mindfulness of Dhammas is related with cognition, Sanya Kanda, and volition, Sankhara Kanda. So these are the relationships between 4 Satipatthana and 5 aggregates. Okay, so why we have hindrances in our daily life? I have listened to some of your discussions in the breakout room. Some of you mentioned that, oh, I have many judgments in a day. I have kind of blames towards the other people, which they should do like this, they should not do like this. So some of you are talking about that. And also, some of you have shared like, okay, I am being good. I am good to the people, but they are not good at me, something like that. So these are the very, very common things we are facing every day. Not only you, also me and other people same. So what we have to do, how we have to live in a community, so in Dhammanupassana, the Buddha highlights the important thing is, what is the main cause of sensual pleasure? What is the main cause of ill will or restlessness and worry? So the main thing is the yoniso manasikara. Yoniso manasikara, and sorry, my site is so noisy. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so the Buddha mentioned in the Dhammanupassana, that is the Ayoniso Manasikara, and also the commentary. Yeah, not in the Pali, the source, but in the commentary. Sorry, in the commentary, the commentator mentions that why we are happening these 5 hindrances, because of the Ayoniso Manasikara. So that we have to practice to get the Yoniso Manasikara. Okay, let me share here. So what is Yoniso Manasikara? That is the wise attention. It is a form of attention purposely directed in a manner that is wise. So we need to be wise that time. And at the same time, thorough and appropriate. So we have to pay attention to a particular object with wisely and thoroughly and appropriately. This is the message. And this is a form of attention directed to the true nature of phenomena. So we need to see beyond. For example, if we are angry with somebody, he is short-tempered, why he is always angry, why he is always shouting. But we need to see beyond that. Why he is happening? Why he is happening? What is the true nature? The true nature is not that person. The true nature is the defilement, which is controlling him, which is influencing him. So this is called Yoniso Manasikara. And What is Ayoniso Manasikara? We have almost all the time, we are having unwise attention, right? This is a form of unwise, perhaps also somewhat superficial attention. So we add many things. We add many, our memories, our perception like that. Okay, so this is the thing. So that we have kind of the falsification of data through sanya, our memory. Then we add in our attention like that, so that the continuous training in Yoniso Manasikara will eventually change the way perception apprehends the world. So that Yoniso Manasikara can change our perception, how we see the world. So that in Myanmar, if we practice the meditation in the meditation center, especially in the Mahasi meditation method, the teachers, our meditation teachers, they guide the meditators to have Yoniso Manasikara, wise attention. If you have wise attention, you will be happy. Your meditation will be good. If you have Ayoniso Manasikara and wise attention, your meditation will be disturbed, and your development in meditation will be disturbed like that. Okay? So this is the thing. Okay, so let me recap about the 4 Satipatthana. So 4 Satipatthana is, we have learned already, right? The first is the mindfulness of body. Second is mindfulness of feeling. The third is mindfulness of mind. And the fourth is mindfulness of Dhamma. So if we recap those things, what the final goal of these 4 practices is the attainment of the perfect happiness. Perfect happiness. So we need to break the wheel of existence, and we practice to the ultimate goal is the realization of Nibbana. Okay, so that the Buddha mentioned in the Satipatthana Sutta, Ekayano Ayam Bhikkhave Maggo, right? Ekayana means is the only way to end our suffering. The only way to attain the liberation or Nibbana is the 4 foundations of mindfulness or 4 Satipatthana practice. So this is the thing. So how many sessions we have? We have learned in the Satipatthana Sutta. So here we have the 44 sections in Mahasatipatthana Sutta or Satipatthana Sutta. There are 44 sessions. 14 sessions for Kayanupassana, and 9 sessions for Vedananupassana, 16 sessions for Chittanupassana, and 5 sessions for Dhammanupassana. So that we have totally 44 sessions. Okay. So the contemplation of body progresses from the basic experience of bodily posture, activities, to contemplating the body's anatomy as well. And the contemplation of feeling divides feeling, 3 feelings, right? Pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral feeling, and also distinguishes these according to worldly or unworldly nature. And the contemplation of mind proceeds from the present or unpresent or absent of 4 unwholesome states of mind, raga, dosa, moha, and distraction, to contemplating the present or absent of 4 higher states of mind. Okay, we have 8 categories each. And then the Dhammanupassana for today, we have the Dhammanupassana progresses to 2 analysis of subjective experiences. So 5 aggregates, 6 sense spheres after the hindrances, right? And then these analyses are followed by the awakening factors and the next contemplation of Dhamma. So that all the Satipatthana practice is reached with the contemplation of 4 noble truths at the end. The highest, the practice in the Satipatthana meditation is the 4 noble truths. Okay, so what you may ask though, what is the benefits of the practicing of mindfulness, practicing of satipatthana? So I have already explained to you, we have object, we have the mind. If we understand the object is just the nature, like the pain during the meditation, this is the nature. Or maybe the painful feeling in mind while you are talking to the other people or while you're at home. This is just the nature. Don't be so serious. Don't take it serious, so that you can understand the object is the nature beyond control, its impermanence. Then you have no attachment, no attachment. So that you can distinguish, this is the object, this is the mind. So my mind cannot be influenced by the external object. My mind is peaceful. My peace in mind cannot be influenced by the external object, something like that. And when you see an object, for example, when you see a person, if you are mindful, if you have the concentration, if you have the wisdom, if you have the wise attention, you may not see the person as a person. You may see this is the mind and body. This is mind and body. If you hear also the same, this is just the matter, just the object, like that. So that we have less attachment, we have less anger, we have less hatred, less anxiety when we live in a community. So this is the things. So I like to encourage you all. So this is the end of my session. This is the last lecture. That's why I like to remind you all, this is very important. Yeah, this is for your whole life. You all are practicing vipassana meditation for many years, but you are focusing very high, right? But sometimes if we target very high, we have missed some lower parts, some very basic practices. So this is what I have experienced. You know, I wanted to become an arahant. I wanted to become an Ayya. I want to practice vipassana for 1 year, 2 years, something like that. I want to go to meditation retreat, something like that. But we forget to practice moment to moment in our daily life. So this is the our weaknesses sometimes. So that's why I like to remind you all very important practices in our daily life. Okay, so mindfulness in daily life. Let me remind you again. First thing, very small thing, yeah, very small thing. When you put on the shoes, when you take off the shoes, be mindful. Be mindful. I'm not sure in India, in Myanmar, we have the tradition. We have to take off the shoes before we get into our house. We have to get into our bedroom. We have to change the shoes, or sometimes we have to take off. So that many times we have this kind of practice, but we forget to be mindful at that moment. Okay, so that you can practice mindfulness when you're putting on and taking off the shoes. So when you walk up the stairs, also the same. If you live 2-story buildings, it's very good. So you have to practice the mindfulness when you step, you know, when you use the steps. So that's when you walk up the stairs. So please be mindful, touching, like that. Of course, we do buttoning. How many times? I'm not sure. Some of you can give me the answer. How many times do you do buttoning?
Many times, yeah, many times.
Yeah, many times. Yeah, many times before we.
Sorry, Ayya, you got muted.
Okay, so many times, yeah, many times. So that when we do buttoning, of course, we can be mindful. Very simple, very simple. When we one by one, Yeah, don't think about any other things. Sometimes we are buttoning here, but we are thinking about the past. We're thinking about the future, like that. Or sometimes, oh, somebody is waiting me at outside, so I have to do very quickly, something like that. So you can be mindful at this very simple activities. Okay, when you pick up the phone, also the same. Don't pick up suddenly. Just pause yourself, just slow down yourself, and then, okay, you can pick up mindfully like that. So, of course, when at the wake up time, of course, at the meal time, so you try to be mindful, okay? So these are the activities that we have practiced already. And I want to add one more thing, mindful driving, because now I came to the larger city. My university is in another part of Myanmar, so it's not very. We don't have traffic jam in our university area. But when I come to Yangon, so it's big traffic jam. So when I went together with my devotees, so when I come to realize that they have very stressful driving because of the traffic jams. Sometimes people are, I think in India also the same, right? So they don't follow the rules, they just drive as they like, and then sometimes they are shouting, something like that. So that you have to be mindful. You should practice mindful driving. First thing is slow down yourself. Okay, traffic jam is there, but I have to arrive at the office in time, but no choice, I cannot do. So slow down yourself. And then if you have the anxiety, just know your anxiety and anger. Okay, just mindfully stay there. And then accept your limits. You have limits. This traffic jam, you have no magic power. You cannot change this, to clear your direction, so that you have to accept it. So you have limitations. So please accept your limits. Slow down yourself, know your anxiety, and accept your limits. And then you can also understand others' problems. Okay, they want to go to their work as well, like me. They have also their things to do, their jobs to do, so that you understand others' problems, so that you can slow down yourself easily, then drive mindfully without any anger, without any anxiety. So you can practice mindfulness while you are driving, okay? So while you're talking, also the same. Am I voice loud? Am I talking with compassion? Am I talking very fast? Am I speaking harshly? So you can be mindful. So mindful listening also the same. Am I listening with judgments? Am I listening with compassion? Am I pretending to be listening? Am I listening or thinking? So many things you can know why you are listening to somebody. So check your feelings, check your mind, check your mental objects in your daily life. You can check, am I having a greedy mind? Am I having a hatred mind? Am I having a lazy mind? So many things. You can know many things in your daily life, okay? So you can check, like, am I thinking about the past? Am I thinking about the future? Or am I mind at the present moment? Or am I my mind isn't peaceful? Or am I having a peaceful mind or hot mind or happy mind? So many things you can know, okay? So that's why I like to encourage you, please practice these things in your daily life. These things are very important while you're taking off the shoes, while you're walking upstairs, while you're buttoning, while you're picking up the phone, at your wake up time, at your meal time, and at your driving time, at your talking or listening, and all the time you can check your mind, check your feelings, check your mind objects, so that your mindfulness can be developed very quickly, and then you can have a very happy moments in your daily life, and you can have a peaceful life, and you will be free from all the unhappiness, all the anxieties and stress. Okay, so that's why I like to encourage you all to practice mindfulness in daily life. This is very, very important for all of us. As you all know, in this age, in this era, people around us becoming hot, people around us becoming more and more stressful. They are looking for the materials, not for the qualities in mind. Most of the people around us are following for the car, better and better house, better and better car, better and better status, positions, so many things, so that we need to be more mindful to live in this kind of society, in this kind of material world. So mindfulness is very important. So I like to remind you all, okay, the Vipassana is very good. The Vipassana meditation is that we need to practice every day for our happiness, for our liberation. But at the same time, your social dealing should be good. You should be okay with your wife. You should be okay with your husband and co-worker. Even though you are a Vipassana meditator, but you are not okay with your husband, it is not that way. It is something wrong. Okay. If you are a Vipassana meditator, you must be okay with everything, right? Why? Because you need mindfulness. You need mindfulness when you live with the other people. Then you have to practice Vipassana. That is step by step. Okay, so that's why I like to encourage you all to practice mindfulness in daily life. Okay, yeah, thank you very much.
Sadhu, 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 Ayya. We are grateful for your Dhammadana for all today and for all these 4 weeks and taking us through this wonderful journey of mindfulness. We will open up the session for question and answer. I have allowed everybody to be unmuted, but please raise your hand, and once you are given permission to ask question, then you can ask it. I'll read some questions from the chat box as well. So the first question I have from the chat box, Ayya, do I have your permission to go to the questions, Ayya?
Yes, please, sir. Yes, please.
Yeah, so the first question is with respect to the presentation that we had, and there was one presentation slide where it was says perception of light. So the question is, what is meant by perception of light?
Perception of life.
Light, yeah. I'm gonna just put that question in the chat box. If you are looking at chat box, it came. Okay. I'm just sending it to you, Ayya. You can look at the question.
Yes, please send it to me. Yeah.
Yes, I did. Ayya.
There are so many messages to him. Okay.
I believe, this question came up from the slide where you had hindrances and the way to remove it, and the stages where it gets completely removed. I think from that slide is where the question is coming from.
Sorry, when maybe they can ask me directly, so it's easier. Okay, they can.
Sure, yeah. Because if you are in the call, please raise your hand. Yes, thank you. I'll ask you to unmute.
Directly.
Vandami Ayya.
Okay.
My question is that I'm somewhat confused about the removal of sloth and torpor. You have expressed that the method of suppression as perception of light but what is meant by perception of light, I don't know. So I want to know it.
Oh, perception of light, L-I-G-H-T, light.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So that is
My bad, yes.
yeah. When you have a slot and proper during your meditation, so you can think, you can try to visualize the light. For example, if you have practiced in the past, maybe you may have experience with the light in mind, lightness in mind, the brightness. Light mean is the brightness. So that when you have a very good concentration, then you may feel the brightness in mind and brightness in front of your face, or the 10 directions beside your near your body. So you can visualize, you can try to visualize the brightness again, so that your mind will be more active, you have more clarity. So that it means in that way. For example, if you have ever practiced the white kasina practice, so we call it, for example, the white kasina practice is the white. Whenever you contemplate, there is the white, what you call perception, so that you can also record that perception, and then you can practice the white kasina, so that your slow and proper, your what you call the maybe the laziness, or maybe your bodily what you call problem. Maybe sometimes your body is tired, so that you have a sloth and torpor. Sometimes your mind is lazy or boring, so that you have sloth and torpor. So at that time, the light mean is the brightness. You try to recall, you try to practice the brightness, so that you can overcome the sloth and torpor.
Ayya ji, I am doing Vipassana meditation, but I don't know about the Kasina and the light meditation. So is that connected with the Vipassana?
If so, what you can do is you can if you practice the Anapana, do you practice the Anapana? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So
Hello.
Okay, so if you practice Vipassana, then you can experience that the piti, join in your mind, Then you can try to recall that experience. And then if you have the joy in your mind, piti in your mind, then your meditation object will become brighter and brighter. So you can also overcome sloth and torpor in that way.
Thank you.
Thank you. So you have to wait for your turn. I have one more question to read you from the chat window, Ayya. And this came from the room 1 discussion. How does karma affect our life?
This question is a wide question. If I have to answer this question, we may need one more lecture. Okay, in short, let me answer. Karma, of course, it can affect our life, of course, but we have different types of karma. Some karma gives the result in this present life, but some karma can give the result in the next lives, like that. So if you do specific karma, develop or kusala or akusala, wholesome or unwholesome actions, then you can have the effect in this present life. For example, you don't put effort for your exam, so you may have to failure in your exam. But if you put effort, so much effort, and then of course you can pass the exam, something like that. Or for example, when you do meditation, you have some disturbances, hindrances in mind, then you put effort and you try to do your best and you try to develop your mindfulness and concentration slowly, then so you can overcome all the hindrances and then you can sit meditation. So it means that your good action become a good result, like that. But exceptional case, some karma, some action, even though you are working so hard that you cannot make money, even though you prepare very well for your interview, but you did not pass the interview, something like that. Those karma are the previous karma that you have done. It becomes here affected. Okay, we have millions of life in the past, so that we don't know which karma in the past will come as a result in this life. So it's a combination of karma, combination of results in this life, so that we try our best. Sometimes it's beyond our control, so we have to accept. But anyway, we have to put effort, we have to try at our best. Of course, the karma can affect our life, of course.
Yeah. Sadhu, 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 Ayya. Kamal Kishore ji, please go ahead with your question.
Vandami Ayya ji, I am very, very grateful to you for conducting this session. From many years, I was meditating, but going through the sessions, I start feeling very cool and calm, and I became very mindful. There is very great improvement in me. So I'm very, very grateful for you. And I want to know, Ayya ji, when are you coming to Bodh Gaya in India?
I'll come to the event, and I cannot pronounce that.
Lucknow, Ayya ji. It's a city called Lucknow.
Yeah.
And yeah, the dates are 4th to 7th. Is that correct, Ayya?
Yes. So, but I need to do the meditation retreat on 6th and 7th March. Sorry, 6th and 7th May.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We want to join that session, that retreat. So what we have to do for that?
Thank you for that question, Kamal ji. We have Rajesh Chandra sir on the call here, and maybe he can put down the schedule or some connected way, some way to contact him, so that you can get connected as to how that whole itinerary would be working out for Ayya ji, and how that program would be done. So it is arranged by Samanvay Seva Sansthan, Lucknow, and they have invited, and Ayya ji has accepted the invite, so they can share the whole itinerary and how to participate into the session. Rajesh Chandra sir ji, may I request you to please put that information into the chat box, sir? Okay, one more question from chat window, Ayya. Can you briefly comment on Kasina meditation? Just a brief comment.
Okay, so there are 10 kasinas we practice. Kasina is, for example, if you practice the white kasina, for example, then you may have a kind of the white color, the wall. So you make the circle about 1 feet diagram. So then you make a circle. Then you look at the wall first, the circle first. Then you go to the meditation hall, the Dhamma hall, and you close your eyes and practice. Then you try to visualize, try to recall that circle in your mind. Then you can just focus in the center of the circle And then you can say white, 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 like that. Because but before practicing kasina, you must have already the four jhanas, first, second, third, and fourth jhana with the anapana, so that your concentration is very, very strong already at that moment. So that when you start visualizing that white color, so your mind is absorbed by that circle, a white circle, so that you have the white perception only. Your perception is nothing, it's just white. Then you can try to enlarge it 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, and then you can enlarge bit by bit, and finally the whole wall becomes, whenever you try to contemplate, is the white color, all white color, the whole white color. So that's then your mind is in an absorption stage, only white and nothing else, only white, nothing else. Then you can practice step by step the other jhana, like that. So the kasina practice is good for developing the concentration. If you want to develop your concentration very quickly, you should practice kasina meditation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayya. Your next question is coming from Rajesh Gaikwad. Please go ahead with your question, sir.
Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. Good morning, Venerable. And first, I thank Pankaj sir. He's very excellent organizing this from many years. And my humble request is that for the whole team and Venerable also, please guide us like this teaching of Buddha Dhamma Sangha every Sunday. This is my request, that all Indians and we will be grateful to you listening Buddha Dhamma Sangha teaching. And my question is that, Venerable, I am working in the industry, so there is much sound of 125 decibel and more. So we are in the company nearly 8 hours, and while coming to home also there is traffic, like you say in Rangoon, Delhi. So everywhere there is sound all in the world. So can I concentrate on the sound, and how to concentrate? Because sound is now the major part of life. And doing concentration on sound factor, can I get enlightenment? This is the small question. And second, I want to ask that Lord Buddha, every day when he was doing meditation, he used to see with his divya chakshu, with his eye in the world, and he used to see who is want to know the Dhamma. So he used to go there. So how it is possible, and how to get this divya chakshu? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so your group is very active, yeah? So, and many good questions coming. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Honestly, this is my very first time to give Dhamma talk in English for long, for 4 weeks. This is my very first time. Normally, I just did the Dhamma lecture, but without any, without answering many questions. But this time I have to answer many questions. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so first of all, your question is the how to practice mindfulness of sound. This is very first of all, we need to change our attitude. Change attitude. We want to listen to the good song. We want to listen to the bad. We don't want to listen to the bad song. We don't want to. We want to listen to the good song. So this is our attachment. For example, if there's the song that you like, okay, you may be happy in that surrounding. But when you hear the other voices, other sound, you may not like it. So this is our attitude. The sound is just the sound, just the sound. There is no good or bad. Like good or bad, like that. So if we talk about meditation object, the breath, in breath, out breath. Good sound, bad sound, the sound of the bird, the sound of the vehicles are the same. Same. They are the meditation objects. So that the more we distinguish, the more we try to judge. This is good, this is bad. Oh, this is the vehicle sound. This is the people sound. If we try to judge, if we try to distinguish, then your mind will be disturbed. Your mind will be disturbed. So it means that your happiness is in the vehicle sounds. And then your happiness is in the people's sound, like that. So that you have to change your attitude. Change your attitude, okay? The sound is my friend. The sound is my friend. Good or bad, no problem. This is the object. This is the meditation object, so that I have to be mindful. Whenever I hear the sound, I have to be mindful. It is reminding me. It's an alarm. Ding, ding, ding. It's giving the alarm to you to be mindful. Okay, so whenever you hear the sound, it's okay. Traffic jam, it's okay. This is the time for me to be mindful. So you change attitude. Then your perception towards your world, towards your surrounding will be changed. Just be mindful. Just be mindful. Okay, so gradually, in the beginning, you might have the difficulties, but gradually, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Me, when I was in lay life, the best time to be mindful is when I went for shopping in the market, especially in the wet market. Wet market, so noisy, but I feel like I am under the roof, very peaceful roof. Okay, I look at the shop, who sells the fish, who sells the meat. Okay, they are shouting at each other, they are talking very loudly. Those are the objects that I have to be mindful. So these are things, that's why make friendship with the sound. Okay, please change your attitude. The sound is just the sound. We don't have any right to judge this is good, this is bad. It's beyond control. It's naturally happening. So please check your mind, please check your attitude and change. Okay, I hope it helps.
He has a second part of question for Dibba Chakku Ayya. He wanted to know how to get to that jhana or those.
Yeah, yes, Venerable. The second question, little, please.
Okay, yeah. How to practice to get Dibba Chakku? Of course, we cannot attain the Dibba Chakku as the Buddhas. The Buddha has the highest highest power of Dibba Chakku. But what we can practice is, we can practice, as I explained already in last week, you can practice 8 jhanas. 8 jhanas, 4 rupa jhana and 4 arupa jhana. Then you can attain the Dibba Chakku. You can attain. It is possible in this life as a human being. If you follow the samatha bhavana, you practice very seriously the tranquility meditation. It is possible.
Thank you very much. Vandami Bante. Vandami Sister Nan.
Thank you, Ayya. Grateful for your time. I don't see any more raised hand or questions in the series. I just wanted to. So there is one more I see in the chat window. What is the antidote of Thinamitha? You had mentioned how to get rid of Thinamitha. Yeah, can you please comment on that one more time?
Okay, good question. Very good question. Okay, yeah, this is the what we often face the problem when we do meditation, Thinamitha. So how to overcome? First thing is, you can open your eyes. Open your eyes. If you feel drowsiness by closing the eyes, then you can open your eyes, no problem. See the lights, but mindfully, yeah, mindfully. You can see the lights, the brightness, mindfully. That is the way. You know, sometimes when I went to Australia, I taught to them, while you keep your eyes open, then you do meditation. Can you do that? I taught to them, and very difficult for them. Very difficult for them. So I said, why? You can do meditation while your eyes are open. It is okay. Why not? But they are not used to it. Okay. So another problem is our brain setting is kind of when we sleep, we close our eyes, right? So that our brain automatically understand that when you close your eyes, you have to sleep. You have to sleep so that you start becoming sleepiness like that. So that what you have to do is, the very first thing is, you can open your eyes if you want, but if you don't want, no problem. You can still try it. You try to put more effort. Okay, for example, while you are doing Anapana, you can give more oxygen into your body. No problem. Don't just forget about like, oh, but where's the subtle breath, or where is the concentration? Forget about this. Just give more oxygen to your body. Then your body becomes more fresh. Then your mind automatically becomes fresh. That is the first way. First thing is you keep your eyes open, or if you don't want to, then you put more effort in your breathing, the fast breathing. And the second thing is you can think of the piti. Okay, when I practiced yesterday, I have piti, I have tranquility, you know, I have very subtle breath, so peaceful mind. Then you recall your achievements. Then okay, you can try. Okay, this is the third thing. And the fourth thing is you can try to check your faith. Oh, I have laziness, I have sleepiness, but you know, the Buddha, the Arahant, all the noble disciples, they practice ardently, they practice mindfulness, and they became Arahant, they became the Buddha, they are liberated. I must do the same way. I have to do it. So you have to try to develop your faith like that. So there are many ways, but in the Buddhist literature, some the discourses mention that you can try to squeeze your ear if you cannot still wake up. To wake up, so you can squeeze your ear like that. So there are many ways to overcome the thought and torpor. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Ayya. Ayya, I'm sorry, I missed one more question in the chat box. There were too many messages here. The question is related to how Vipassana meditation help us in the deathbed, especially when we are sick.
How to practice Vipassana meditation when we
on the deathbed, right? Yeah. So maybe for good gati, or having peace of mind, something to that effect. Yeah. Just wanted to know how it helps us.
Sorry, I am not very clear. That your second.
So if we wanted to get maybe a good gati, to gati.
Oh, gati.
Yes, yeah. So how does Vipassana meditation help us on the deathbed?
Okay, yes, gati. Okay, so this is a very good question as well. Okay, so in our life, the most important moment is the near death moment. The last death moment is very, very important. For example, when you have when you are in a high school, or when you're in secondary school, for example, okay, you try so hard, you know, you study very hard in the early part and the middle part, but you become fail, or you have some problem in your, you know, or you have health or whatever. Then at the near moment of the exam, tomorrow is the exam, today you have got the problem something, or for example, you have something during your exam time, that is the transition period. That is the turning point. That is the most important moment. Similarly, in our life, the last death moment talks a lot. Last death moment is the most important part in our turning, is the turning point. That's why you have to, okay, you practice vipassana meditation, but your mind is become very weak, your body is very weak, at the hospital or on the bed, you know, there's so many pipes in your body and oxygen is giving, something like that. So if you don't have the kind of Dhamma Vyabhada, we call Dhamma Vyabhada, is the automatic working of your wisdom. If without that, you cannot help. For example, you are practicing vipassana 1 hour, 2 hour meditations every day, but the rest 20 hours you stay without mindfulness, anger, hatred, delusion. Okay, so you think you are practicing vipassana, but you're not balanced. Okay, so you don't practice mindfulness all the time. Off the cushion, you practice on the cushion, but not off the cushion. Something like this, so that at your last moment of your life, at the death moment, you're not ready enough. You're not ready enough. At that moment, you cannot depend on your body. You cannot depend on your mind, because mind and body are very weak at that moment. So what can help you? The wisdom can help you. So what kind of wisdom have you got? Vipassana jnana. Vipassana jnana. Sometimes you have the lower jnana, or sometimes you have higher jnana. Higher wisdom, lower wisdom, it talks a lot. It talks a lot. Okay, maybe you may tell like, oh, I did not practice very well. You know, I'm still practicing, but I don't have many year experience. How should I do if I die right now? If I die tomorrow, how to do? You check your attitude. That's it. Check your mind. Check your mind. Change your attitude. Okay, change your attitude. Okay, the sound is coming, or the smell is coming, or somebody is coming to calling you, or many sounds, many bad sounds you're hearing, or just change the attitude. Everything is the nature. Everything is the nature. I need to accept it. These all are beyond control. I need to accept it as a nature. So you have to change your mind. Then your last moment with the kusala, So that's why what I practice is, you know, I practice, if I die next hour, next 1 hour, how to do? If I die tomorrow, how to do? I always think of that, you know, if I go out, if I'm on the taxi, if I die in a few seconds, how to do? So I always prepare for the last death moment. I check my attitude, I check my mind, so that if you do not practice vipassana meditation for many years, no problem. Just check your mind and attitude at present moment, and at your mindful, at your death moment, also will be helpful. Okay. One thing, yeah, I think you all have time.
Yes,
because
Ayya, please.
This is the last lecture, so I like to talk a little bit more. Okay, when we practice at the Pa'ao Meditation Center, we have to practice the Marananosati, yeah? The recollection of that. And also we have to practice the how to overcome at the last death moment. We have to practice. So by that time, many meditators, they have experiences. For example, some of them, they could see their past life, the recent life, recent life. Then what they noticed that is, at the last death moment, we have the pictures coming in. Some pictures are very clear, some pictures are not clear, because we have done many things in our life. So that when our mind is very weak, so the pictures are automatically coming up and we cannot resist, we cannot respond anything. So we need to accept it just automatically. So some pictures are very clear. For example, for some meditator, at the last dead moment, they hear the cow sound, the cow, okay? Because they live in a maybe farm, and then the cows are like that. And then she died. She died. Here, she hears the sound. She has no mindfulness. She has no right attitude. She thinks that, oh, the cow sound. Then here, she died. Okay, one mind moment. And then here, she become a new life. She has a new life. Then she become a cow. She, as a baby, in the womb of the cow. Why? She has wrong attitude here. The sound is just the sound, but she tried to distinguish. She attached that. That's the dogs, the sound of the dog. That's the sound of the cow. Oh, my maybe my dog, my lovely dog or something. So here become, this dead moment is the turning point, like that. And another one, a meditator, when at the last dead moment, the picture coming up, so very, very clear picture is, she is offering the food to the Buddha image. So she is mindful, then she thinks that, okay, I am offering the food, kusala. Then, okay, she died. This is the intersection. Then she become a lady. She is born in a rich family, something like that. So this is the turning point. So there are many stories that happens in a meditation center. Why? So that our last dead moment is very, very important. You need very good friends, your daughters, your son, your wife should not cry beside you. If they are crying and you automatically attach, oh, I cannot leave right now. I have to depart forever with them, something like that. And then you cannot go away from those, from your family. So these are things, that's why you need to practice every day, every moment. If I die tomorrow, or if I die in next 1 hour, how to live, how to die, like that. So this is very important.
Sadhu, Ayya. Thank you very much, Ayya. We are about 15 minutes beyond our time. I don't want it to keep you from your lunch, Ayya. So again, on behalf of all the participants, Ayya, I wanted to express our great gratitude to you. Much merits to you, Ayya. May you attend Nibbana. Sadhu, Ayya. I had purposefully not taken some questions where there were requests related to sharing the slides, requesting the same topic to be explained again. What suggestion I have for you is, we are putting these sessions on YouTube. All our 4-week sessions are available on YouTube. They are each week there are 2 sessions. One may be instructions, and the second one would be like a main session where Dhammadesna was given. So all these sessions are available on YouTube. Please join these YouTubes, look at them again, and you can see the slides there. So we would definitely want you to do that, and that is a good way to kind of remind yourself as to how a particular session, be it Kayanupassana, be it Vedananupassana, be it Chittanupassana, or be it Dhammanupassana, you can look at all these 4 weeks and how particular instructions for meditation were provided. by Ayya ji during that time. So those are available there. Besides that, I also would say that please join the WhatsApp group. We have shared the link to join to the WhatsApp group right now. So that would be a good way to have these sessions. We at ANA USA definitely try to have a lot of Dhamma sessions from multiple speakers. We are doing that almost every Saturday. Saturday for us in US here, basically. And the timing sometimes differ by an hour or two based on the teacher's convenience and their location. Like Ayya is joining us from Myanmar here. So, and the last topic I wanted to say is that next week, again, it would be India time, Sunday, 7 a.m., the same time that we had this session. Next week, we have Venerable Ayya Bhikkhuni Dr. Pasannavati from Nepal joining. And the topic that she's going to take is 4 sublime states and meditation. So it is again a similar topic with meditation in there. So please do join us to listen to the Dhamma discourse next week as well. And lastly, I just wanted to express my great gratitude to Ayya for her time and her kind Dhammadesna to us, or Dhammadana to us. Yeah, there was one request that came up that people would like to make donations to your center, Ayya. So we will work that offline with you to get those details as to how we can make the dana and share that with the WhatsApp group then later on for people to do that. Is that okay, Ayya?
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Thank you, Ayya. May I request you to please do the merit distribution, Ayya, before we close the session?
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to thank to the ANA USA and Mr. Pankaj and Mrs. Sita. So they all communicating with me and organizing very well. And also I like to thanks to the all leaders in the breakout room. They led the sessions very actively with and with the loving kindness, with the compassion. So I have heard and I have seen those things. So I like to thank to all of you. And lastly, I like to thank to all participants. You all participated the whole program, and you spent your time and you listened to my lectures and participated very actively. So I like to thank to you all. Okay, so sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So Sabbedio, we would do Sokoroko, Vinasatu Mate, Bawanta, Darayo, Sukhi Dika, Yuko Bawa. Aviva Janna Silesa Nesamudabasayino, Chataro Dhamma, Vatandu, Ayuvano, Sukamalan.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
And thank you very much to Suminda sir as well. He is joining us from Sri Lanka. He is also helping us with a lot of coordination in this arranging this session. Suminda sir, thank you very much. Much merit to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Suminder. He is the key person for all the organizing events. So he is a very Superman, I think, because he is handling many organizations. So you have got a lot of merits already, because of your effort, many participants, many people can listen to the Dhamma talks and can practice and can learn from, different types of teaching. So sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Ayya, do I have your permission to close the session, Ayya?
Okay, yes, please. Thank you very much.
Until we meet again, all of us, we will see you again next week, same time, same Zoom link, 7 a.m. in the morning, Sunday. And we have Ayya from Nepal Venerable Ayya Pasannavati joining us for next week. And the topic is 4 sublime states and meditation. So till we see you again, Namo Buddhaya to all.